Have you ever had one of those moments where your entire reality just shatters? Where everything you thought you knew turns out to be a lie? I was cleaning our apartment on a Tuesday afternoon. Derek was at work, and I had the day off. Nothing special, just one of those random cleaning moods where you need to organize everything. I was vacuuming the bedroom when I bumped into Derek's work bag. It was leaning against the dresser, and when I hit it, the whole thing tipped over. Contents spilled everywhere: papers, pens, charging cables, and his laptop. The laptop hit the floor and popped open. The screen lit up. I bent down to pick it up, ready to close it and put everything back. That's when I saw the wallpaper. It was a family photo, a professional one like you'd get taken at a studio. A beautiful woman with dark hair, 2 young kids, a boy and a girl, maybe 6 and 4 years old, and Derek. They were all wearing matching white shirts and jeans. The kids were sitting on Derek's lap. The woman had her arm around him. Everyone was smiling, like a family. Have you ever felt your brain just refuse to process what you're seeing, like it's so impossible that your mind won't even accept it as real? I stood there, holding the laptop, staring at this photo. Who were these people? My first thought was, maybe it was an old photo, from before we met. But no, the kids were too young. We'd been together for 3 years. If Derek had kids that age, I would know. Unless I wouldn't. My hands started shaking. I sat down on the bed, the laptop still open in front of me. I clicked on the desktop. There were folders, lots of folders, work documents, projects, normal stuff. And then I saw one labeled, Family 2024. Family. I clicked it, and what I found inside made my stomach drop. Hundreds of photos, birthday parties, Christmas morning, beach vacations, the woman and kids with Derek, school plays, soccer games, dinner at restaurants, casual photos at home, photos of a life I knew nothing about. I opened another folder. House renovation. Photos of a house I'd never seen. Derek painting walls, installing light fixtures, the woman helping him, the kids playing in the yard. Then I clicked on important documents. Inside were PDFs. A marriage certificate. Derek Chen and Melissa Tran. Married August 2016. 2016. That was 8 years ago. I met Derek in 2021. We'd been dating for 3 years, living together for 2. He was married the entire time. Birth certificates. Connor Chen, born 2018. Lily Chen, born 2020. He had children. 2 children. Mortgage documents for a house in Sacramento, 2 hours away from our apartment in San Francisco. He had an entire other life. Think about someone you love, someone you trust completely. Now imagine discovering they've been living a completely separate existence, that every I love you came with a hidden asterisk. How would you even begin to process that? I sat there on our bed, in our apartment surrounded by our things, and realized I didn't know who Derek was at all. The man I loved, the man I'd been planning a future with, was living a completely separate existence with a wife and 2 kids. How was this even possible? Then I thought about his schedule. He traveled for work every other week, Monday through Friday, sometimes longer. He was a software consultant, he said. Had clients all over California, needed to be on site. I'd never questioned it. He'd call me every night when he was away, text me throughout the day, send me photos of hotel rooms and boring conference centers. But now I was looking at a folder labeled work trips. The same hotel photos he'd been sending me, the same conference centers. So those were real. He really was traveling, except he wasn't traveling for work. He was going home, to his real family. And suddenly it hit me. I was the side piece. I was the other woman. Except I didn't know it. I ran to this bathroom and threw up. Then I sat on the bathroom floor and cried. When I finally pulled myself together, I went back to the laptop. I needed to know everything. His email was already logged in. Emails from Melissa. Don't forget Connor has soccer practice at 4. Can you pick up Lily from ballet? I made your favorite for dinner. Can't wait for you to get home. From last week. While he was supposedly at a client meeting in Sacramento, he wasn't at a meeting. He was at home, with them. Calendar entries. Connor's birthday party. Anniversary dinner with M. Lily's school recital. All marked as personal so they wouldn't show up on his shared work calendar. The calendar he showed me, text messages, him telling Melissa he loved her, sending photos of the kids, talking about weekend plans, and then text to me on a different phone number saying the same things. I love you. Can't wait to see you. Missing you. 2 phones, 2 lives, 2 versions of the truth, and I was the secret one. Actually, wait. Was I the secret? Or was she? The marriage certificate said 2016. We started dating in 2021. She was first. She was the wife, the real relationship. I was the affair, the other woman, the secret. My phone buzzed, a text from Derek. Hey babe, running late. Meeting went long. I'll be home around 8. Want me to grab dinner? It was 4 p.m. He'd be home in 4 hours. What would you do? If you had 4 hours to decide how to handle the biggest betrayal of your life, I could pack and leave, just disappear, ghost him completely. Or I could confront him, scream, cry, demand answers, or I could do something else entirely. I looked at the laptop screen, at Melissa's email address staring back at me. Before I could talk myself out of it, I typed, Hi, Melissa. You don't know me, but my name is Emma. I need to talk to you about Derek. It's urgent. Please call me. I added my phone number and hit send. Then I sat back and waited. 20 minutes. Felt like 20 hours. Then my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. This is Melissa. Her voice was cautious, confused. I got your email. Who are you? I took a deep breath. I'm Derek's girlfriend. We've been together for 3 years. Silence. The kind of silence that's so heavy you can feel it through the phone. What? I found his laptop today. There were photos of you and your kids, documents. I know you're his wife. I know you've been married since 2016. And I know he's been lying to both of us. I heard her breathing. Then a sound like she was trying not to cry. You're lying, she finally said. This is some kind of sick joke. I wish it was. He told me he's a software consultant who travels for work. Every other week, he goes to Sacramento for client meetings, except he's not going to meetings. He's coming home to you. That's when he works from home, she said slowly. He works from home every other week, has for years. His company has a hybrid schedule. Of course that's what he told her. Melissa, I'm looking at his laptop right now. There are photos of both of us, emails to both of us. He has 2 phones, 2 lives, 2 completely separate existences, and neither of us knew about the other. She was quiet for a long moment. Prove it. I started sending her screenshots, the family photos, the emails, the text messages, everything. 10 minutes later, she called back. Oh my God, her voice was shaking. This is real. You're real. I'm so sorry, I said. I had no idea. If I'd known he was married, if I'd known about you and your kids. How did I not see this? She interrupted. 3 years? He's been with you for 3 years and I didn't know. How did I not know he had a whole family? We're both victims here. She laughed, but it was bitter. Empty. Victims? Yeah, that's exactly what we are. We talked for 2 hours, compared stories, timelines, tried to piece together how this was even possible. The picture that emerged was horrifying in its precision. Derek had orchestrated everything perfectly. His hybrid work schedule meant he spent Monday through Friday with Melissa and the kids in Sacramento. Then Friday evening, he'd go to San Francisco for client meetings and spend the weekend with me. Every other week, the schedule flipped. Week with me, weekends with them. 2 completely separate wardrobes, 2 sets of friends who never overlapped, 2 social media accounts, 1 private for his family, 1 public for his San Francisco life. 3 years without a single mistake. Until today, until his laptop fell out of his bag. What do you want to do? Melissa asked finally. I want to leave him, obviously. But I also want him to face what he's done, not just disappear and let him keep lying. I want the same thing. I want him to look at both of us and try to explain himself. Have you ever been so angry that you became calm? Where you're past tears, past screaming, just cold and focused? That's where we both were. He's supposed to be at my place at 8, I said. What if you came too? With the kids? No, let's not traumatize them. But you and me, both of us, waiting when he walks in. I want to see his face, Melissa said. I want to watch him try to talk his way out of this. Then come to San Francisco. I'll text you the address. I'll be there at 7:30. At 7:30 exactly, my doorbell rang. Melissa looked exactly like her photos. Beautiful, exhausted, eyes red from crying. Hi, she said. Hi. We stared at each other for a moment, 2 women connected by the same lying man. Then, weirdly, we hugged. I can't believe this is happening, she said. Me neither. We sat in my living room, the living room Derek had helped me decorate, where he'd spent hundreds of nights. Tell me about him, Melissa said, the version you know. I told her everything. The Derek I knew was funny, attentive, romantic. Talked about Marriage someday. About kids. About building a future. She nodded. That's the Derek I married. That's the father of my children. How is he with them? I asked. The kids? Her eyes filled with tears. He's a great dad. Coaches Connor's soccer team. Does Lily's hair every morning. Reads to them every night. They adore him. That made it worse somehow. He wasn't some deadbeat who abandoned his family. He was present, involved, which meant he was actively choosing to lie to everyone every single day. At 7:55, we heard footsteps outside, a key in the lock. Melissa and I looked at each other, nodded, ready. The door opened. Derek walked in carrying takeout bags and flowers. Hey babe, I brought Chinese and... He saw Melissa, everything dropped. The flowers hit the floor, the takeout bags split open, noodles everywhere. What? He looked at me, at her, back at me. What's going on? Hi, honey, Melissa said, her voice perfectly calm. Surprise. His face went completely white. Melissa, what are you doing here? Funny story, Emma called me today, told me some very interesting things about my husband. He looked at me with pure panic. Emma, I can explain. Can you? I interrupted. Can you explain being married for 8 years while dating me for 3? The 2 kids you forgot to mention? The house in Sacramento? He opened his mouth, closed it. No words came out. Sit down, Derek, Melissa commanded. And he sat, like a child being scolded. We stood over him, 2 women he'd betrayed, united. Talk, I said. He started, stopped. I don't know what to say. How about the truth, Melissa suggested. Just once, tell us the truth. And he did. The whole pathetic story spilled out. He and Melissa had been having problems after their second child. He felt neglected, trapped, scared of being just a dad and husband and nothing else. So he started going to bars in San Francisco when he was supposed to be working late. Met me, fell for me. Instead of fixing his marriage or ending things with either of us, he just kept both lives going. It was easy at first, he said quietly. The lies came naturally, and then so much time had passed that I didn't know how to stop, how to tell either of you without losing everything. So you kept lying, Melissa said flatly. Yes. For 3 years. Yes. While I raised our children mostly alone, while I covered for you with our families, while I believed every excuse you gave me. I'm sorry. Sorry? Her voice rose. You have 2 children, Derek. 2 kids who love you, who wait for you to come home, who ask me every single day when Daddy's coming back, and you were here, playing house with her. I love my kids, he protested. Then why wasn't that enough, she demanded. Why wasn't our family enough? He had no answer. I'd been quiet, watching. Now I spoke. Did you ever love me, or was I just an escape? He looked at me. I did love you. I do love you. Don't, I said. Don't insult me. You don't love me. You love the version of yourself you get to be with me, the one without responsibilities, without consequences. Emma, I'm done. Done with this conversation. Done with you. Done wondering if anything about us was real. I looked at Melissa. What about you? She took a breath. I have 2 kids with this man. I can't just walk away tonight. But this marriage is over. You destroyed it, Derek. You destroyed our family. He started crying. Please, please don't do this. I'll fix it. Therapy, anything. You should have done anything 3 years ago, Melissa said. Instead, you did this. She stood up. I'm going home to our children. Tomorrow I'm calling a lawyer. You can stay here or get a hotel, I don't care, but you're not coming home. Melissa, we're done, Derek. She walked to the door, paused, looked back at me. Thank you for calling me. I know this was horrible for you too. I'm sorry. For everything. It's not your fault, she replied. It's his. She left. Derek and I sat in silence. The spilled Chinese food was congealing on the floor. The flowers were broken and wilting. Emma, he said finally, please, I love you. Get out. What? Get out of my apartment, pack your things, leave your key, never contact me again. You can't just... I can. This is my apartment, my lease, my life, and you're not part of it anymore. Where am I supposed to go? I don't know, and I don't care. He stared at me like I was a stranger. Maybe I was. The Emma who believed his lies was gone. He packed a bag. 20 minutes. I watched him collect pieces of his fake life. At the door, he turned back. I really did love you. No, I said. You loved lying to me. There's a difference. He left. I locked the door, cleaned up the mess, threw away the flowers. Then I sat on the couch and finally let myself fall apart. The next few months were brutal. Melissa and I stayed in touch. Not friends exactly, but connected by shared trauma. She filed for divorce, full custody. Got it. Derek tried to salvage things with both of us. When that didn't work, he painted himself as the victim, a man torn between two loves. Neither of us bought it. I went to therapy, worked through trust issues, questioned every relationship I'd ever had. How do you move forward after something like this? My therapist asked. I don't know. How do you trust anyone again? You learn to trust yourself, to trust your instincts, to know that you survived something horrible and came out stronger. Slowly, I started to believe her. A year later, I'm okay. Not great, but okay. I'm single, not ready to date. Maybe not for a while, but I'm building a life that's completely mine. No lies, no secrets, no wondering if the person I love is someone else entirely. Melissa and I had coffee last month. Her divorce is final. The kids are in therapy, healing. Do you regret calling me? She asked. No. Do you regret answering? No. You saved me from years more lies, maybe decades. We sat quietly for a moment. Have you dated anyone? She asked. God, no, you. Can't even trust my own judgment anymore. Same. She smiled, raised her coffee cup. To trusting ourselves again. Someday. I clinked my cup against hers. Two women who loved the same man, who were both betrayed, who both chose themselves in the end. That's not how I thought my story would go. But here we are. And you know what? I learned something important. The worst betrayal isn't being lied to. It's lying to yourself about what you deserve. I discovered my partner's secret life by complete accident. A laptop falling out of a bag. Random chance. And that accident saved me from wasting more of my life on someone who didn't deserve it. So if you've ever felt like something was off in your relationship, if you've ever ignored that little voice in your head telling you something's wrong, listen to it. Trust yourself. Because sometimes the truth finds you in the strangest ways. And when it does, you have a choice. You can ignore it and stay comfortable. Or you can face it and choose yourself. I chose myself. And yeah, it hurt. It still hurts sometimes. But I'm free, really free, and that's worth everything.